Now, normally, at this time of the night, it's this guy behind us that starts off the broadcast.
And
he
who
says
might
something
he be?
like, "Welcome to Woodbine Mohawk Park. It's a beautiful night for racing."
Yeah,
blah
great
blah
originality,
blah.
isn't
But
it?
yeah,
really clever.
Yeah, he never changes it up. But today's a special day. You want to know why, Randall?
Why?
It is this guy's birthday.
Today's his birthday.
26 years of age.
26.
Yep, 26.
Yeah. I'm saying the only thing that is older than Chad would be the covered bridge up in Elmira. That would be it. I think that thing was built around 1720.
Yeah, the funny thing is Randy helped build it.
Yeah, that's right. So it always kind of stinks to work on your birthday. So we want to wish our buddy Chad all the best on his birthday. And he brought us donuts.
There you go.
They're more like cakes. He brought it these massive, massive donuts. If Randy and I had them, we'd be in a sugar coma for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just take the hint that he doesn't want to hear from us today.
He did not make those in the easy bake oven. I'll tell you that right now. Those things are El Grande donuts.
So Rosie, on behalf of all of us here, all the best to you on your big day. We'll let you take it away with the changes, but happy 26th, my man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. All right. In studio here for Friday night harness action, a chilly Friday night. But good news is only a couple days left in the month of January. So that'll be another month of this, what appears to be a never-ending winter that's going to be down. And we've got a short month coming up in February, and we can start to see light at the end of the tunnel. We know some warmer days are coming up, and as we all know right here, before we know it, we're going to be talking Pepsi North America Cup. So looking forward to that. 10 dashes here on a Friday night, minus 15 degrees Celsius, but wind isn't much of a factor, so it's not going to really cool it that much more given the wind chill out there tonight. Fast track to start things off on the 10 race card. We'll head back into the studio in a few moments for the Friday edition of Woodbine Racing Live with those fine fellas, Randy and Jeff. But first off, let's get you caught up with tonight's program changes. The opener kicks off the early pick 5. It's guaranteed at $75,000. The first leg has no changes. We're all clear there. Second race, number 1, Olina, is going to add blinkers, open to blinkers on 1, Olina. Number 7, Teasin, is missing a chart line. Missing a chart line on the 7, Teasin, who did race January the 27th. At the Raceway Western Fair, Daryl Thiessen did the driving, had post 5 in anometers of 5,000 last 3. It was on a good track with a 3-second variant. Got away 6th, raced at the back throughout most of the mile, ended up finishing 5th, was defeated by 21 1/4 lengths and individually timed in 2:04, again on a good track with a 3-second variant. Early pick 4 is underway in race number 3, where number 2 Captain Sassy will extend the hobbles tonight from 54.5 to 56 inches. 54.5 to 56 inches, the hobble adjustment on 2 Captain Sassy in the third. Tonight's fourth race, pick 6 begins, and we've got a carryover to seed the pool. More than 8,100 comes into that pick 6 from Monday night's carryover. We do scratch the 1, Tregarin, Judge's Weather. Take out the 1, Tregarin. Number 3, Stonebridge Zeus is missing a chart line. Stonebridge Zeus also racing at the Raceway in London on January the 27th. Sammy Filion did the driving, had post 2 in anometers of 5,000 last 3. Again, a good track, 3-second variant. Got away 4th. Did improve to 3rd at 3/4 and on the move, and then ultimately finished 3rd, beaten 13 lengths, individually timed in 2:02 and 2. Tonight's 5th race, number 7, Laneside in Control, Judge's Weather Scratch. Take out the 7 from race 5. Back half of the card, race 6, kicks off another pick 5. Number 7, Nazare, Judge's Transportation Scratch. Take out the 7, Nazare from race 6. We'll start the late pick 4 in race 7. Number 5, Blinded by the Light, Judge's Weather Scratch. Scratch the 5. And number 9, Utopia Blue Chip's going to work with some blinkers tonight. Open to blinkers on the 9, Utopia Blue Chip. Race 8, no changes. 9th race, feature event, Fillies and Mares Open Pace. No changes there. And 10th and final, just about at the 6-figure mark in the Jackpot High 5 carryover, more than 95,000. Coming into tonight, we'll scratch number 2, Double Dippin', Judge's Weather. Scratch the 2. Number 9, Shampoo Girl, will go flip-flops to steel shoes up front. And number 10, Peso Hanover, will be going aluminum to steel shoes behind. That's it for early changes on this Friday night program. 40 away from the first of 10. As promised, downstairs we go. Friday edition of Woodbine Racing Live with Jeff and Randy. Enjoy.
Downspout is still the best. 19. He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on. Top 25, Canada's horse. Some reach somewhere.
Yeah, motivated on focus.
They're up and pacing.
This is the moment. Gotta one on my opponent.
McWicked on the outside.
Gotta get it the mindset. Gotta put it in motion.
You gotta be kidding me. TCI wins the million.
Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds.
Lean back, get your picture taken.
Crowning moment on Canadian soil for Bulldog Hanover.
Motivated on focus.
A late push from Confederate. It's my show. Wins the big show.
This is the moment.
The month of January is winding down, but before we do so, we have a racing program for you tonight that features 10 races and a pick six carryover, as Chad mentioned, of over $8,000. Welcome to Woodbine Mohawk Park on a chilly, okay, it's just darn right cold, Friday evening. Friday night harness racing coming your way. We have the standard type of stuff to bring you. The pick fives, we got the pick six, we got the jackpot high five, but that carryover approaching six figures, almost $100,000 in the kitty there. Will it go here tonight? I don't know, but I do know that the Hall of Famer, Randy Waples, has joined me inside the studio. And Randy, is it the cold that you don't like in the wintertime, or is it the snow? Because for me, I think if I dress okay, I can handle the cold. I'm just sick of shoveling already.
Yeah, no, the shoveling's really starting to get old, no doubt about that. And I don't like anything about winter. You want to know the truth? I loved it when I was a kid, and you could go snowmobiling in it and stuff like that. But now, no, I don't like snow, don't like ice, and I don't like cold, you know. And you can put them in any order that you want, but those are my three don't likes right now. And I agree with you. You know, once in a while, you got to shovel your driveway or your spot or dust your car off or something like that. That's okay.
Yeah.
But when you got to start dusting your car off 3 and 4 times a day, that starts to become a little bit much.
The multiple trips.
Yeah, come on.
That's the problem. But the huge positive that I've noticed as of late, I don't know about you, is the fact it's staying light out so much longer. Like there it is. We just had the sun setting right now at around 5:30. So
yeah, that's a good
we'll
sign.
Take that. That is a good sign.
Now all we got to do is make sure the gopher don't see his shadow, and we're good to go.
Monday?
I think so.
Day? Yeah,
I think so.
Exactly. So, but now there's all these different groundhogs. It's just Willie. That's all we care about. It's Wyerton Willie. That's all we care about.
Puxatawny Phil.
Yeah, that's right. Let's take a look at the recap from Monday. And how about our good friend J.R. Plant, another upset winner on the program. He had Desert Haze. That was a big number, winning at odds of 23-1. How about Mark Etzel's barn, Mr. Randy Waples? Devastate and Manoa, 2 nice price winners for him.
Yeah, I actually was not shocked at Manoa. You know, I mean, that was a nice number to pick him up at too, at 7-1. To me, he was the fly in the ointment in there. Devastate really jumped up with a big effort.
For sure. Now, Randy played the late pick 5, and he had the right thoughts. Unfortunately, he was dead by the time he got to the last race because you pressed the all button there, and Pierre Ho Emerald at 17-1 was able to pull off the victory in that race.
We're getting some long shots, you know, and some pretty big long shots too, but we are getting some long shots, and that's nice. Nothing worse than sitting here all night and trying to find, $3 and $4 winners.
And who's driving a lot of those long shots? He's not driving a lot. It's Mr. Jones. He's bringing in some nice prices along the way too. So great to see him having some success. The early pick 5 paid $16,000. No, Randy and I did not have it.
No.
And the jackpot high 5 carryover was over $95,000.
And if there's a carryover, we didn't have that either.
No. And it was a very trot-heavy program. We're far more pace-heavy on tonight's card of racing. If you've been watching the show on a regular basis, you know that Randy and I, we're going to play the consensus pick 5 ticket. So that's where we look at in-depth the first 5 races on the broadcast. Let's get right to work here and focus in on race number 1. I was talking about this with some friends the other day who watch the show on a fairly regular basis. And I think this is the toughest time of the year to handicap because I think sometimes you don't know how fit they are because of training purposes. Some are maybe over-raced a little bit because the entry box is a little bit light. You don't know about sickness this time of the year. I just think there are so many vulnerables right now, Randy, from a handicapping point of view.
Absolutely. And I mean, even like with the cold weather that we've had the last couple of days, there's some horses that aren't even, all they're doing is maybe going on the walker, little bit of paddock time, just not the same kind of exercise because you turn horses out in this kind of weather, they're out there for 10 minutes and they want back in, just like little kids, they want back in the warm barn, so they're not really taking the exercise. So you're right. It is tougher to handicap because there's just so many variables that aren't there in the summertime.
Yeah, just there's more things that you can be certain of in the summertime as opposed to right now.
Right, yeah.
So let's do some handicapping here in this first race, and let's start our discussion in here with Madrid, because Madrid last time out raced and finished a very good second. Now, the reason why I quite like the horse today is obviously the second place finish was quite good, but it's the reference to the winner that I really like more than anything, Randy. That Madam X looked pretty good off the bench. I think that was a Maneri horse, if memory serves me correct.
Correct.
And was able to pull off the victory on that day. Now, we don't have to worry about that one in here. Do you think potentially that Billy Davis could trip out this horse here today?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that he could, but that's not really what I was looking for. I've seen her win a couple of times for Dougie McNair when she was in Xeron stable, right on the choo-choo.
Okay.
And that's what I'm kind of hoping for because do you have her on top?
I do.
Okay, the reason why I'd like to see her maybe chop this is because, and that broken equipment last week was a shoe.
Okay.
She lost a shoe. I think that it separates her from the one that she has to beat in Chief's Dream Girl. A lot of times, Chief's Dream Girl is going to be racing from off the pace, This could tie her up into traffic, could put her, in a bad sort of spot. Whereas if he can get to the front with Madrid, I mean, I think the worst case scenario, he has to sit on Job Hunter's back or he can do a remove. So I'm kind of hoping that he gets really aggressive with Madrid tonight.
Let's take a look at the replay in regards to Madrid. So it was 7 days ago on January the 23rd. It was actually a horse that took a lot of money on that day, too. It was the second choice and against the eventual favorite that was able to pull off the victory.
Yeah, I mean, he had no answers for Madam X. But again, though, I mean, this was not a good track. They were given a second. It was a very, very cold day. And she loses a shoe. And, with the cold weather and the ice and everything else that we got, tracks are fairly firm. They're icy and they're firm. So she loses a shoe. She's going to be feeling that little toe on that hard kind of a track. And I think that, maybe she would have got the job done because, boy, oh boy, she kept coming forward. Like there was nobody that was really bothering with her. She just kept hunting James. And I honestly do think that if she'd had both shoes on front and maybe Madam X isn't in that race, she's a winner. So I'm hoping that he gets very aggressive with her because guess what? She's supposed to have 4 shoes on tonight, Jeff, and there's no Madam X.
Chief's Dream Girl, obviously capable with one of her better races.
Yeah.
But Job Hunter, for the first time, and I would say maybe 2 or 3 months, I just didn't see the same Job Hunter last week.
No, I think that, I think that they're maybe like the Des Tacourt, they kind of got rid of her at the right time. I think she's still valuable player in here. I got her in for third. She could come back with a nice big effort. She moves into Gary Murner's barn. Murner's horses get great care over there as well. So she could just stay with the form that she's going with. But I see a little bit of tiredness. So even though I was going to play against her anyway, it just gave me more reason to kind of play against her.
So for our pick 5 in there, Randy are going to leave off Job Hunter. We're going to go too deep in there. We're going to use Madrid, and we're going to use Chief's Dream Girl as well. Chief's Dream Girl has not been able to squeeze into this cheap a condition in a long, long time, if ever. So it's been a long time since the horse has been able to face this type of competition. So we're going to toss that one mix of things as well. So 4-6 coming up in race number 1 for our pick 5. Now in the second, you and I had a rather lengthy debate the last time, that Classic Magic race, and we're trying to figure out why James picked this horse because there was another horse on that day that looked rather live.
Muscle Fashion.
Right. But I think ultimately scratched or did
yes.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So now James is named on 3 different horses in this race. He takes Classic Magic. To me, Randy, I want to ask you about your thoughts about the last race. That was the first start in a month. Mm-hmm. And you and I were like, is this horse going to be tight enough? To me, the way that she was driven on that night suggests to me that they weren't so sure that she was going to be at 100% on that night.
100%.
But I'm thinking the screws are a whole lot tighter here tonight, and I'm expecting a far better Classic Magic this evening.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if Michelle had an idea that this pop-up was coming along.
Maybe.
And she missed the month, you know, to get her freshened up. And she probably said to James, listen, she hasn't done much in a month. I mean, we've talked about it before with all the weather that we've been having. The tracks aren't all that great. The weather's been really, really cold, even for horses to go outside. So I don't think that she's coming in here like with a lot of fitness training-wise under her belt. But she does have that race that she needed so bad. So I think that she's good to go in here. I think she needed that race. I actually thought she raced better, you know, because she's in against horses like Hungry Hill, Mr. Magic, some pretty salty old veterans in there, and she made a good of account of herself finishing 4th in there. She's going to be that much better in here tonight.
Let's touch on the number 5 that's been walking on the moon a little bit. Both you and I have got the horse in second, and look at his past performance line. Speaking of horses that can't get onto a regular rotation because of the weather, I mean, this horse can't put back-to-back races together for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's what I got him in for second, and I can honestly tell you, Jeff, the biggest reason being just that back class that he brings to the race. You know what I mean? They can find back class, but I can honestly tell you too, on my pick 5, I keyed Classic Magic.
Okay.
I really did. You know what I mean? I think that she's worth, you know, with a key in there. And if we throw the other ones in, if I was going to throw another one of these horses in, it would probably be the horse that I got in for 4th, which is All-Star Goldie. And that's just because I know she can win on this circuit. You know what I mean? The other ones, I'm not 100% sure on just yet. And Walk on the Moon, he's just so spotty. You know, the 2 out of 18 last year, and the one win was in 58 at KD.
Yeah.
You know?
That barn's going good, though, right now. Pam's barn's cooking.
Her barn is really, really
yeah.
good, but I just don't know if this guy can come in here missing that time, not showing many wins, and then come up with a big one. If he was in here by himself, so be it, but the one that's beside him, Classic Magic, she brings some pretty good desperate wheels, too. So what do you want to do?
We're going to key Classic Magic.
Keying?
Yeah, we had to find a key somewhere, so
All
we're going
right.
to key that horse.
Sounds
okay?
good. Yeah.
Let's get to the third now on the program. This is a condition event for fillies and mares, 5-year-olds and younger, non-winners of one race. We're going to go for a purse of $18,000, and one of the main reasons why I love working with Randy, well, there's several, but one of them is just talking racing and trying to figure out strategy and stuff like that. So when I came in today, I said, why don't we keep Tropical Cyclone? And Randy's like, well, I like the horse, but there's a couple of others that you like as well. So let's first of all focus on Tropical Cyclone. It's probably going to be the favorite on this day. Last time out was in against another first-time starter that was heavily backed from the Maneri outfit. Now, Tropical Cyclone, just tell us about her trip, and were you happy with what you saw based on not only how she performed on that day, but the horse that she raced against last time out as well?
Yeah, the horse that she raced against, Show Me, what is it? I can't remember. Maneri just got it.
Show Me Your Dark Side or something like that?
Yes, that's it. Show Me the Dark Side.
Yeah.
Show Me Your Dark Side. Really, really nice horse. Really top-notch kind of a horse. So, yeah, it was a nice second to this one. And that's the thing. We are going to show you the replay of Tropical Cyclone, and this is a really, really good second. Now, in this replay, we are also going to get a chance to see the 4-horse in here, Sunwash. Now, I got this one down as sneaky good on the end. So right now, my exactor is looking 6-4. But there's another one in here too. Now, we're not going to show you the replay on this one. You're going to have to take me at my word on this. But this Montague Velma coming out of the Doug High barn, I threw this one in for 4th. Does she have the ability to take this race down? Yes, but boy, is she green. I'm going to sit on this one for a week or so.
And you know what?
What?
They kind of opened her up a little bit in that last race. Open up those lungs, as you like to say.
Yeah,
you know?
but she's kind of
I
all
know.
over the place.
She needs a wheel
and
alignment.
I think she just needs a couple of races. Yeah, exactly. She looks like me in about grade 8, you know, completely lost out there. So let's take a look at the replay on Tropical Cyclone. Again, so this one's driven by Travis Henry. It was the 5. It's going to have the black saddle pad. You can see sitting 4th on the rail. Thanks, Jason. And the other one that you may want to pay attention to is the 7-horse, Billy Davis. This is he's right behind Travis. So maybe take a real close look at the 7-horse and Travis. Now, Billy is going to make it easier here first because he's just going to nestle right back up on Travis's back, and he's going to follow him through this pocket, but not nearly with the depth that Travis is showing his. This one is really rocketing through, but look at Billy. He backs up, takes another shot at her again, and that's what I mean about her being sneaky good. You know, she kind of like, it's not unusual for a green horse to not want to go up the inside of horses, and I think that that's what he was running into. Not that he didn't have the room, it's that she refused to go up there, so now he's got to take a hold of her, move her back to the outside, and then reapply again, and she goes forward again. So I like her in here, some greenness, but I like her in here. So where did you go?
So I went towards the 6.
Right.
If I was playing a ticket myself, I would probably single the 6, but I'm fine using some other options in here. So we're going to toss in Montagu Velma, and we're also going to toss in Sunwashed as well, because they're still relatively lightly raced too. And the thing that I like about Montagu Velma is not only was the horse green last time, but for the first time they tried a little bit of speed off the wings of the gate as well.
Right.
So they really, I think, now know what she's capable of. I wish that she had a bit more of a regular rotation. Now we're 2 weeks off. Not a major deal, but if I had to be nitpicky a little bit, that's something that I wish.
Okay, now I'll throw this to you there to keep the ticket reasonable. I like Sunwashed. I throw her in on part of my ticket. But after watching that replay again, I'm going to ask myself, Randy, do you look at her as a win candidate? And I don't. I think that she's a nice filly. I think she's progressing, that maybe in a week's time, next week, the week after, she's going to be in the winner's circle. Do I look at her right now? I don't know. Not on that replay, I don't. What do you think?
I want to use the horse.
Okay,
just because I don't want to kick yourself if the horse wins.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to go 3, 4, 6.
Yeah,
Perfect.
We're going to use 3, 4, 6 that spot. Now we do have a scratch to announce
Blame
the
Brad.
10th race. Just coming into us. If you want to fast forward to the 10th, scratch number 5. She's a Monalishi.
Oh.
So now we're down to a field of 8 now in the nightcap. So 2 and 5 are now out of race number 10. Let's get to the 4th now on the program. We scratched the 1.
That's a big scratch.
That was my top pick. Yeah, I'm now on Legacy's Jailbreak. Don't love the horse, Randy, but I am on Legacy's Jailbreak. This is one of the few horses that Turcotte has taken over that really hasn't stepped up this season or changed form at all.
Not just yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not just yet, there. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if it's going to be tonight because she does draw the outside. So where did you go
this
in here?
This is a spread race for me. I landed on the 9. I can't key the horse.
So you were, what, Tregarn originally?
I was.
Yeah, okay.
And I really, the rail I didn't love with the horse, being from post 1 with a trotter, but I love the last race when finishing second. Made of Magic, the only thing I don't like about him is he's had a busy campaign. He's been very busy as of late. Lily's last, this Ron McDonald barn's doing really good right now. I say we spread in this race, so I'm open to interpretation.
Okay. What about? Okay. So Legacy's Jailbreak. We use her.
Yep.
My top pick is the 6. So we can use him.
Yeah, and I want to toss in the 5 Lily's last,
right?
And Shutter Green as well. 5,
and
6,
Shutter
8,
Green.
9.
Good. Yeah. Cool. I'm good with that.
5, 6, 8, 9. If that's cool with you.
That's very cool with me.
Stonebridge Zeus. I'm not too worried about this one on this circuit. Might come back and bite me, but I'm going to go in a bit of a different direction here. So your top pick is?
Made of Magic.
Made of Magic. Okay, so we've got that horse on.
Yeah.
What do you think it was simply a case last time with him was he wasn't able to get to the front? And that lets that perform. Did he get shuffled back? Because the chart line kind of looks like he got shuffled back a little bit in that race.
Yeah, probably. Maybe a little bit, but I think it's more along the case that he knew that this pop-up was coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't overdo it. We got a nice race coming up around the corner. So I look at it more of that. They've been racing him really hard his last couple of starts. They've been chopping miles with him. He's not necessarily the best on front, but he's not horrible either.
Yeah.
But he's not necessarily the best. To me, he's a better horse sitting in the 2-hole. So I think that they did what they did last week just to not get too tough on him. Now they come back, in this pop-up. I'm really glad that you're using the 8 horse because I think I haven't been using him lately, but I think that this horse is starting to come around.
Yeah.
And if they can get a few little things cleaned up on him, the engine is there.
And Etzel's going so good
He
right
is.
now.
He's tough to leave his horses away.
Let's take a look at the replay here with Made of Magic to show you exactly what happened this most recent race. So it was January the 26th, and the horse took really light action on that day, too. After going off as the favorite back on January the 19th, was sent off at odds of around 8-1 on this day, and actually lost to a big priced horse. And this race was just on Monday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, if you go 3 down, his last race at London was January the 14th. Comes back 5 days later. You know what I mean? And race is good. Has the 7-hole. Tries a big move up that way. Didn't work out for him on the 5-day rotation. I think that maybe it stung him a little bit. Then they went a little easy on him in this start here. And right here, like, I mean, Tyler starts to ask him now, but to me, he's more of a kind of horse that you kind of got to get him into his racing, you know, right off the very beginning. You got to get him into it. And he didn't really seem to get him into it as much this race. So I think that this was just kind of, let's get him around. Let's get a nice, easy mile into him, and let's concentrate on next week.
I just don't love the fact it's 5 starts in January.
Yeah.
You know, that's a little tricky.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But Made of Magic, that's where you're going to go. I've scratched onto the 9. Kevin Plauchow's going towards the 5, that being Lily's last. So I think we've got the 4th race covered. But whenever I say that, when we're going 4 of the 8 horses, one of the other 4 horses is going to win there in race number 4. Now we're going to get to the 5th. Now, in this 5th race, this is some very nice horses, fillies and mares in here, non-winners of 9,000. And I think if you were to have a symposium on handicapping for harness racing, I think LA Mickey or La Mickey, I'm not sure what we call the horse, but I think this is a perfect illustration of a horse that missed time and was short and then was a whole lot better last time out.
Yeah.
A lot better last time out, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And now we're on a regular rotation.
Yeah. She's going to be tough in here tonight. And I've said this about Paul Court before. Like, he's one of those kinds of guys that even if this horse has missed time, they're live. And we're going to see that, I think, tomorrow night there. He's bringing back Stonebridge Helios, who's also missed like over a month. And he qualified him. He get one qualifier into him, and it was a good one. And I threw him in for a part of it because, like I said, his barn, you know, he's one of them few guys that they can come in and miss 3-4 weeks, and you're good to go with that, you know, whatever he does. Now, that being said, that's usually on when we're getting the good weather. You know what I mean? I don't know where he's stabled at, if he's been able to get fitness into this horse where it's missed the month. But I'm going to take a chance and say that yes, this one is good to go. January 23rd, it was a good winner. 3 wide around the last turn for Dougie. Now comes right back with Jody. I think that this one should be good to go tonight.
And Paul's got a couple horses qualifying from the Southern Hemisphere tomorrow with us, as a matter of fact. We have 4 qualifiers.
I hope Chad's listening to that.
Yeah, Chad, for your qualifying report, we expect an in-depth analysis with that.
Right.
Qualifying report's been very good as of late.
It has.
Now, during the our pre-game pep talk that you and I have, I said I really want to use Western Wish because I kept going back to this horse, and she's got back class, obviously, and I thought she was deceptively good last time out. So we're going to toss in that one as well. That's the one horse that Randy said, okay, we can toss in one of Jeff's second picks in here. So we got the 1 and 6. So here's a look at our ticket, how it's going to be put together. Our key's going to come up in race number 2. And we're thinking that Classic Magic is going to be a whole lot tighter here tonight. In the 3rd, we've got the 3, 4, and the 6. We would love to get Montagu, Velma, or Sunwashed home. That would help.
Yeah, that would help.
I would start to get a little bit excited.
Brat's looking for the payoff.
4th, we got the 5, 6, 8, and the 9. And then the 5th, we got Western Wish. And they've got the Paul Court.
Western Wish will pay too.
Yep.
Because everybody's going to be playing LA Mickey, and a lot of them are going to be playing Seclusion. And I'm to the point now where I'm just not 100% sure if Seclusion wants to win.
Yeah. That's so frustrating when some horses are like that.
Well, like, I mean, she runs up on a horse's back. She'll get beat a half a length in 48. The next week they'll chop it out with her or whatever, and she'll go a mile 53.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You know, what are you getting?
It's so frustrating. We're going to skip the 6th. Let's get to the 7th now on the program in here. We scratched number 5, that being Blinded by Delight. Thus, we're now down to a field of 9 in here. I want to have a bit of a debate with you.
Do it.
I don't think there's any way in heck we get 10-1 on this Wassail Blue Chip. I think she's been facing so much tougher than what she's going to be facing here today. And I think she had a sneaky good race last time out, too.
I got her down in for second. Same reason. I think that she was, you know, there was a bit on the end of it, but I still don't put her quite to the win mark just yet. I think that she's going to have a good race. Don't really see her as a win candidate just yet. Where did you go?
And, you know, I did go to her, but that's a valid point because you look at her, she's a 5-time winner. The horse that you're going to focus in on the replay you're lined up against a 34-time winner in Shoot the Whiskey.
And she was like huge. So we're going to show you the replay on Shoot the Whiskey in her last. Phil Hood on sub for Jody last week. Travis had, I think, Glenborough in there. And so Phil was siding with this one. Now Travis is going to come back to this one. They're going to come right back to the same class that she was in last week. The non-winners is 6,000. And I was really impressed with the way that she raced. So here's Phil sitting dead last with Shoot the Whiskey, had the 8-hole, moves into the 6-hole. She does have gate speed if Travis wants to apply it. The start before this, she had the 6-hole. He left out of there. She finished 4th, and I'm not sure if she didn't have a little bit of room, she would have improved there as well. So what we're getting is, even though we're getting a horse that maybe is a little bit light on her wins, she is in good form. And like I said, here she comes now, right on the end of it. Everybody else is tired. She's not. I thought it was a good effort. So I'm going to go back to her in here. The one that I think, especially now with the scratch of Blinded by Delight, you like was Wassel Blue Chip, but I'm wondering to myself, are we all sort of finding any excuse in the world to not put Superior Delight on top when all she really wants to do is not only race good but win races? Because I got her in for 4th. And every time that I do, I say to myself, why is it that a horse that's win 14 for 36 last year, started out this year, she's only had 4 starts, she's had a win, 2 seconds, and a 3rd, and I'm putting her in for 4th. And I just don't understand that. And I honestly think the biggest reason that there's a little bit of a bias with me right now, that her season has got on so long, I keep waiting, and she's not overly big. I keep waiting for her to show a little bit of tiredness. She's showing nothing.
So a possible exacta ticket in here is the 6, and my horse, that being Wassel Blue Chip, is the 7. Let's maybe toss in the 3 as well. Do a 3-horse box in there, because I think Superior Delight is going to hit the board in some portion. I just don't know where.
Right,
on the board.
And what I like about her is that if she can hit the board, she can win too.
What do you make of Daryl driving for Fellows and this horse all of a sudden? Like, because this horse can't keep a driver. It's Watt, and that's James, that's McNair. Like, does Daryl do much driving for the Kyle Fellows outfit, or do you think he's maybe open up some opportunities now to get into this outfit?
Yeah, I mean, I think Daryl's opening up a lot of opportunities to get into, a lot of barns right now. He's driving really, really good, and I like the addition of Daryl because, like I said, she's not overly big. Look at her drivers: Louie, Dougie, James, all kind of small guys. Daryl Thiessen's about as big around as this pen.
You know what I like about Daryl, and I like about JR too, and even Travis Henry. I just like their aggressiveness.
Yes,
they're aggressive.
Yes, I agree. It's
they're
very
just always going.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'd rather go down fighting than go down with a horse that's balled up with nowhere to go.
Yeah, and if they're balled up with nowhere to go because there was a reason for it, then I understand
100%.
that. But, it's nice to sit there and have a J.R. Plon or a Travis or a Thiessen or, Billy Davis, a few of these new guys or whatever, that when you, they've all gotten onto this track. They know how to win races. And what we like about it is the fact that they will give a horse an opportunity. It doesn't have to say 3 to 5 beside their name.
Exactly. Let's get to the 8th race now. So former colleague Jason Portwando, who is now a judge and a steward in here, when I used to work with him, he used to say to me, Jeff, psst, I got a snake in the grass for you. And we think we got a snake in the grass in this race. So what we mean by that is a horse that you look at the form and you're like, nah, doesn't really look so great. But then you do some more thinking and some more replay watch, and you're like, maybe we're onto something. And I have to give Randy some credit because he's the one that kind of tipped me off here to the Salzbrook Lytton and the trip the horse had last time out. So let's take a look at this trip, and all of a sudden, some guy named Doug McNair shows up behind the horse.
That was the killer right there, eh? I mean, the trip is one thing, but then all of a sudden you get McNair, so this would be interesting. So Brady Gallier drove this one, and this is a guy, he's a young driver, and he hasn't done a whole lot of racing on 7/8, so I think that it's a little bit of a learning process for him. But what I will say about him, he's got an incredibly nice seat in the bike. Boy, does he ever look good sitting behind a horse. And I haven't really seen him make mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the positioning hasn't been perfect at time, but like I said, it's a learning adjustment for him. A little bit indecisive around the last turn. He could have moved this one to the outside, but he didn't. Now, He is in a world of hurt right now, Mr. Gallier, and he is looking and looking. But guess what? You got a better chance of seeing Santa Claus on Christmas morning than he's going to find an air in here. And there's just, look at this. It just gets worse. No place to go. So, I mean, again, a little bit of a learning development, I think, for Brady. Now we're going to pick up McNair. I'm hoping that McNair's seen this replay, but I got a pretty good feeling that Joe Pereira will be giving him the 4-1-1, and I think that Salzbrook Lytton is good to go in here. He's going to have to be, because we got a really, really sharp horse coming from the Cullen barn.
Yeah,
but I think we can beat him.
And I thought Honolulu Vacation raced great last week too. So I think those are kind of the three in here, 2, 6, and 4. But you know what? I think based on the trip last time out, this horse is playable today. Now, I feel a little bit bad for Bray to lose the drive on the horse, but it looks like his family owns the horse.
Yeah, so he can get him back.
Right.
He's probably, someplace else
Might
tonight?
be a Western Fair tonight.
Maybe, yeah.
So now McNair, the only thing that kills us a little bit is the fact that McNair takes money.
Yeah, huge money.
So
yeah.
Last time out, this horse actually took a little bit of money, but now, as opposed to maybe being 4-1, 9-2 tonight, I think we're probably 3-1, but still not a bad price.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, we're sniffing out a horse that's 4-1 morning line that went off at 3-1 last week. We both expected him to go a little bit higher than that, like probably 6-7-1. But obviously, McNair's going to bring some of that down. Us showing the replay, there's going to be other people that maybe like him now. That's going to bring some of that down. But what you got to remember is, even though the replay looked good, even though that me and Jeff both like him and both have him up on top. Again, go back to this 6 horse. This is a horse that we're playing against. It's not that either one of us think that Code Cracker's going to come up with a bad effort. We're just trying to play against him because he is the one that's going to be taking the most money.
Yep, absolutely. Code Cracker's definitely the horse to beat. Deserves all the respect in the world, and we're going to have our pacing shoes on there and race number 8. So let's look at race number 8 now on the program. Now the feature goes as race number 9. Now I must admit, I was in the producer's chair earlier on today talking with producer Jason, and I took a sneak peek at Randy's picks. And I said, look who Randy likes in the Filly and Mare Open. A horse that won last time out, and a non-winners of 12,000 or last 4. And you're going to get a number. Tell us why you think She's Got It All is capable of being the best on the circuit here tonight.
Well, again, there's a little bit of a stigma on Randy's part there. For whatever reason, I got Century Jamila in for second. And I mean, let's face it, right now, I think that she's the one that's bringing the most consistency to this top mares class. So I'm playing against her. She's Got It All. She was a winner in her last start. Now, we are going to show you that replay, but trust me, there's not much to see. You're going to have to go by my word. But there's a couple of other things about her that we have mentioned a couple of times that I just want you guys to know out there. We were talking to Rick about 3 or 4 starts ago, just before she win that one in non-winners of 9,000, and he told us then that she's only going to have 1 or 2 more starts, and then she's going to go to Captain Treacherous and going to be bred. She goes out her last start, and again, we're going to show you the replay of it. You're not going to get to see much, but trust me, this was a really, really good effort in 53 in here. Now she comes back up into what I consider to be a weak Mares Open. I think that anybody is beatable in here, and I think that he's going to try to get everything he can out of She's Got It All before she goes under the lights and becomes a mama. She's obviously, her form is good. She's won 2 out of her last 3. The only time she got beat, she only got beat 3 lengths. That was in the Fillies and Mares Open, where she never got back out again. So I think that She's Got It All is live in here, and let's take a look at the replay.
We're not going to do that.
Oh.
We normally do.
Yes.
Aim to please the customer here today, but this replay is one that is not going to arrive on the show today.
It's not good. You're going to have to take my word for it. But for those of you that know She's Got It All, I mean, just look down when she does win. She wins by a head on the bottom. Then she does a chop, and she finishes 3rd. Then she wins by 4, and then she wins by a length and a half last night. For a horse that doesn't usually win by an open sort of length, usually just gets there all the time. Her last 2 wins, she's been open length winners. I say her form is amazingly good, and I think that he's going to try to get everything he can out of her before she goes on her date with the captain.
I think Tells on a Roll is a lot better tonight. I just think they went 3/4 and 124-4 when last seen on January the 17th, and that took a little bit of starch out of her. Now, more often than not, she's able to seal the deal on that type of night, but she wasn't able to do so there. I'm hoping that she gets to be the Tells in the role from last season. And she's not quite there yet, but she's been better. So, but I don't mind you trying to pick against that one, and Randy's going to say, let's see if we can't pull off a upset there where She's Got It All. So just to recap our consensus ticket for you here when it comes to the pick 5. Here we go. It's a $48 play if you want to play along. Initially, when Randy and I were talking about it, it was way too expensive, so we had to kind of narrow it down a little bit.
It was like $1,000.
Well, not that bad. But so we're going to key in race number 2, the number 6 in that spot, and that is one for Michelle Olsen by the name of Classic Magic. Now we have some other tickets that we're going to pass along. And your pick 6 ticket, and why not, Randy? It's a carryover tonight of over $8,000, and you seem to like number 6 quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So in race number 6, we can actually, the 7 horse is now scratched, so that's going to be a single of the 8 horse in races. It's going to go 3 singles in a row: 6, 8, and 6. 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, because the 7 is scratched. I think that was Nazaire. No worries. And then, okay, there we go. And so, my single's going to start in race number 5. I'm going to single L.A. Mickey. I'm going to single in race number 8. That's going to be Tricky McWicky, again with the scratch of Nazaire, who was the other horse that I had in there. And race number 7, it's going to be a single of Shoot the Whiskey. I think she's the toughest one for me to get through, is Shoot the Whiskey, but she's in a good spot, and their barn is just so good right now.
Late pick 5 probably looks a little bit similar, I would imagine.
A little different, not much though.
And you got a very inexpensive ticket here as well.
Yeah, so race number 6, again, the single of Tricky McWicky. Then in race number 7, going to go too deep in there. The only other single comes along in race number 9. I'm going to single She's Got It All. I'm going to try to get some separation in there on my ticket. And then in race number 10, we got a couple of scratches in there. One of them very significant too, being She's Manalishi. But I think that we're about to see the reemergence on the winner's circle of Mr. Buck Dancer.
Me too. Love the response last time. It was just
Agreed.
4 days ago, but was really good at the end of that mile when able to pull off the victories. There's a look at Randy's late pick 5 ticket. We've got some plays of the night. I think we're safe with scratches from our plays of the night. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping so. Randy's going to go first in here and tell us where you're going to go to start off your nights.
Race 1's going to start my night off, Jeff, and that's going to be my all-in on Madrid. Looks like we got a little snow happening.
Snowy.
Waples Watch, Tropical Cyclone. We showed you that replay. Good movement on the end of for that one. Beat the favorite, Made of Magic. That's going to go with that one. And worth a look is going to be She's Got It All, and that mare's open.
Okay, in terms of mine, this is what I've got along. I think that Classic Magic definitely needed one last time out. My best bet's going to come up in race number 3, that being Tropical Cyclone. My drop and pop is Wassail Blue Chip, and my multi-leg single is going to be Tells on a Roll. So we have some different opinions in the back half of the program here today, but that's A-okay. Ghislaine Paquette says, it is time for Chiefs Dream Girl. Carter Barnsdale's got a spot play, and Montague Velma, and Kevin Plaucha from the DRF. 4-1 on Buck Dancer. That is his spot play. So don't forget that we have Sunday raciness. It continues coming up this Sunday. That will be the 1st of February. Never been so happy to see the calendar turn. So we're racing 4 nights a week here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Mondays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday. Now, this will warm Mr. Waple's heart up a little bit. It is snowing right now, but we have a look at our stakes schedule and stakes payments that need to be made. So we're going to warm things up a little bit here because there is a deadline for the next payments for a bunch of stake races. We'll take a look at those races for you. And here we go. February the 15th, that is the cutoff date. Now, obviously, some of these will take place at Flamborough. How many times did you win the Jervinsky?
Never.
Did you never win that race?
Never won the Confederation
That is
Cup.
crazy because you drove there so many times.
Yeah, maybe had 3 seconds in it, but there's something with that race there because you know something? My father never won that race, and he's won every race.
Wow.
And get this, it gets worse. He won it one year with Armbro Dallas and got tossed.
Oh.
So there's a bit of a stigma for the Confederation
Wow.
Cup. Now I will say I have painted a lot of fence at Flamborough.
That's right. We'll take a look at the second page of this, and we've got some OSS races that you still have to make payments for along the way. How often did you win the Battle of Waterloo?
I had 4.
That's
wins
good.
in the Battle of Waterloo.
That's excellent.
Yeah, actually 2 at Old Elmira and 2 at
That's
Elora.
cool.
So
That's cool. That's one of my favorite races.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
me
like
too.
that. It's a great race calendar-wise.
Yeah.
At a great spot as well.
Yeah.
And here's a look at some other race payments that have to be made. The Wellwood, boy, the pot for that race is really good now. $575, wow. And some other races like the Eternal Damnation. We've got the Balance Image as well. So they're just, some races that you want to keep an eye on in terms of your racing calendar. And if you have some horses that you think are capable of doing some damage in those races, then make your stake payments by February the 15th. And wow, the stakes calendar is good.
When things got really, really cold, it's too cold to snow. I can see lots of snow out there, and it's cold.
I was just looking at the Weather Network app. It says 30% chance.
Yeah, really, eh? Wow.
Yeah, I want to be a weatherman in my next life. You can be wrong more times than a handicap.
Hey, you know something on that page, just to throw one thing out there? I think that whole page should be grade ones. I think the Milton should be a grade one stake because I don't know many other fillies and mares open events that are on the calendar. There's a couple at the Meadowlands. Might be the odd, maybe one in Dayton.
Yeah.
And then the Breeders' Crown. But our two up here, the Milton and the Roses are red.
Yeah.
They are like really, really tough races to win.
Are.
So I think that they should also be a grade one.
Producer Jason says it's time to wrap it up. We have to stop talking. So when we come back, we get you all set for the opener as the snow continues to fly here at Woodbine Mohawk Park.